hopefully. Oh, yep, definitely looks like we're going live. All right. Trying to get set up and going today a little early so that I can check all my bugs and kinks, which so far look to be going just fine. Check one other place. And boom. Yes. All right. Well, I do have all the bugs and kinks seeming to work today. So, that said, welcome to Space Engineers in the Morning. This is Space Engineers 2. We are playing through the story scenario of Space Engineers 2. I hope you had a happy holidays. I was not able to stream it all over the holidays. Had a good Christmas with my family. Had a good Christmas with the in-laws. And then over New Year's, my wife and I came down with COVID. So we spent a week recovering from that. So yeah, it's been a fun holiday. I hope you had a good holiday with your families, and I hope you managed to stay healthier than we did. And we'll get going as soon as it gets fully loaded, which I do not know why it's taking so long. Probably because I haven't ran Space Engineers 2 in several weeks. Tom Man, good to see you back. Good morning and welcome back, he says. Well, as I said, good to see you back as well. Oh, there we go. Like I said, this is Space Engineers 2. And I am the Blind Gaming Guy. Now, based off what I can seemingly remember, I should be ready to do that. And heading to our contract 128 kilometers away. Roughly the other side of the world. And the sound you hear kicking on and off there is the H2O2s. Oh yes, I forgot the gyros spin long after you hit the button. That's right. Just speed up here. Turn that off for a second. Alright, we got some speed going. Hit my K. Thrusters. Oh, this is not great. How do I tell which one's which? So it doesn't give me directions or dang it. Ugh. Well, that's something we will have to deal with. I was trying to figure out how to set up a I was going to turn off the reverse thrusters so that I could, you know, fly without so much manual thrusting and, you know, burn less hydrogen. But that's not an option. Whoa, I just saw something I don't like. Why is my inventory 75% full? I am so far away from my thing, I can't see it anymore. Well, this is not what I want to do. Oh well, I guess we're going to run this with full inventory because I didn't check that. And I don't have to worry about ion thruster warning, I'm not running ions. Well, I would go to check on that unknown signal, but my inventory is so full. No. Get the mission done. Worry about unknown signals another time. Running unknown signals, though, definitely breaks up the tedium of such a long flight. Especially since they are so different in this one than they are in the original. Because the unknown signals are, you know, little points of interest built into the side of built mountains and stuff, versus being a little rolly ball that you have to chase down. I have to admit, the Explorer really did come out cute. I really do like the way this ship looks. And if you wonder why I turn off the in-game music, sometimes in-game music can run into copyright issues across the different streaming services. So I just turn off the in-game music. It's a different path than I've flown over the planet before. I don't recognize this particular set of landscape. A giant crater I'm flying over, for example. Kind of makes me think of a volcano, a caldera. That's the right term. Volcano's caldera. Those clouds really are cool. the new volumetric clouds in Space Engineers 2. Get to fly through them and see them react with the top of the mountain there was really interesting. Typically spend that much time flying through the clouds in Space Engineers. Tend to want to either be above or below. Another unknown signal. I don't even know what's in my cargo. That's how bad my situation is. It's 75% full. That's all I really know. Oh, 35 kilometers. We're actually getting there now. Sorry. I did not silence my phone. We dramatically close in on our destination. We see today. I actually have never been this far into the game, obviously, since you guys are seeing my first playthrough of it. That's why I haven't launched it, because I've been really careful not to go someplace that I have yet to see in this stream. In this series, I mean. Not this particular stream, but this series. Alright, what we got? An excavation site. There it is. Alright. Let it sit solid. Lock it down. Actually, before we do that, let's look at our inventory. What is on here? We do have a bunch of stuff that we can probably... We are just really full. Alright. There we go. Yeah, a little bit of ice for sure. Because I am sure we could use a little bit of ice. Not that I see a place to put it. There we go. That's a place I can put it in. Alright, the excavation site. Locate the excavation site and finish the construction of the unfinished blocks. Well, we are here. I guess the next step is finding out where the unfinished blocks are. Okay, well, other than some ice, I didn't see a whole lot out here. We have a battery. Of course, we have ores. Smelter and an assembler. Is that supposed to, is there a piston? There? There's no pistons. I didn't think there was pistons yet. Can't wait for there to be pistons. Sorry. That is a true, I cannot wait for there to be more B. Alright, let's go get some steel plate. I guess we could just grind some out, couldn't we? There's another dead battery. Are you full steel plates? Yeah. The idea is just knock a little bit of steel plate out of them. This doesn't very much in them at all, so maybe we shouldn't take the steel plate out of that. That one, on the other hand. Alright. Let's start with batteries. There's a couple batteries going. I honestly don't know what it takes to get this going. Okay, well, I have everything I need, so we'll just do it. We go inside to do a gear forge. This needs motors. grids. Which honestly, based off what I came here with, the fastest place to get is going to be go back to my ship. Alright, there's some motors. Looking for grids. I don't see any, actually. Do I not have any? No. Alright, well then. Let's go find iron, silicon, nickel, copper, cobalt there. It's doing alright. How are you doing, Red? Nice hearing from you again. Trying to do a better job keeping track of my chat, so I don't miss those as often as I do sometimes. How was your holidays? Hopefully you made it through without the illnesses that managed to attack my wife and I during ours. That's only 4. Construction components and electronic parts. I can get both of those out of that. Use a drill to use drill to clear through any collapsed. Now we come all the way to... Oh, it just fell. Sorry, I forgot your DC name, LOL. My Discord is the same as my normal, as same as my stream, as it is here on. I'm pretty sure I have a DM from you on Discord actually, Red.
full.
Alright. There's batteries done. Now, it's the drill itself, which just needs steel plate.
Inventory full.
And done. Now, let's look for things that are... If I were to go back through this and get the stuff that I desperately actually want, they were all back at the assembler area. I want the gold thread and stuff like that. Not so worried about the ores and such. Also, it did not have any of the big batteries. They were all small batteries. Small batteries don't have lead in them, so that's not have anything I can't already have, or I don't already have in large quantities. Here we go. So let's go break down. Here.
Inventory full.
And we absolutely are not going to be able to do anything other than, you know, flying straight back. It's just steel plate. Actually, it seems like there was the compressors. Let's get the compressors out of both of those drills, because we are going to be building a drilling ship, at least at some point in the not too distant future, as we start spending more time in space, I hope. I do have to admit, I'm really looking forward to when they give us pistons and stuff, so we can start doing builds like that that actually, you know, that actually can accomplish things. But we aren't there yet. Worth remembering when you're doing stuff like this that Space Engineers 2 is still in a very early stage. We are blessed to have so much of its have what we have, and at such high quality already, but does not stop the fact that it's still a game early in its beta. Alright. Why can't I take off? Well, that's not great. It's acting like I don't have enough lift. There we go. I have plenty of lift. It just has to, you know, let me go. Excuse me. I didn't get to the mute button in time. And as on the way into that atmosphere, with the ion thruster warning, the atmospheric thruster warning, also irrelevant, running hydrogen. If we aren't careful, we might run into hydrogen issues. Since I can't turn my dampeners off, and I also can't turn off my backward thrusters, so that because I can't figure out which ones are which. We'll have to figure them out one at a time in space and label them so that I can do that next time. So, did you try out any new video games over the holidays? Or were you just dealing with family over holidays? Tom Man says Star Rupture is new. Yes, Star Rupture is new. Actually, gotta see some of that game over the holiday as well. How did you like it? Was it your cup of tea, or? Tom says he enjoyed Star Rupture. I can actually say that too. I thought it would be a little closer to Satisfactory than it was. Actually, I enjoyed it more than I did enjoy Satisfactory, but that kind of game requires way more balancing and high reacting, controlling all the different, what's the word I'm looking for? We are gonna run out of hydrogen, aren't we? Alright. Good news is, hydrogen is easy to come by. At least where we're at right now it is. Ice is right here below us. Let's pick us a nice ice lake, or ice, I guess not lake, but ice patch and land. I guess we can do it right here at this unknown signal. If I don't crash into the ground, I'm going to crash. I just lost my entire ship. Where did it respawn me? With the initial grasshopper. Alright. Well, I am not going to do that. So yes, we just do that. I should not save scum, but ouch. Spent way too long building that ship to let that be the way it ended. Alright. Let's see if I can make it down to the ground a little bit slower this time. This is where having altimeters would be really nice in this game. Something to let you know about how far you were from the ground so you knew when to slow down. Not slam into the ground at way too fast. Now, that shuts down the thrusters. Still up on ice. Some left click drilling here. Alright, hydrogen. Pretty shallow set of ice, isn't it? Looks like there's gonna be way more snow than that.
Inventory full.
Need to be able to carry more at a time. Unfortunately, my inventory is too full to allow me to do that. Alright, fine. Let's just do this.
Inventory full.
Let's go ditch some steel plate because steel plate is, as always, the easiest thing in the game to make. How did you do that? Should have brought me straight to that. That's it. That's almost got me back to a full tank at least. Maybe you'll quit sending me to the opposite side of the planet from now on. I can, you know, not do this so much. Or send me someplace where I can mine a lot with a ship rather than a little at a time with a drill. That's what I'd really like, is to actually be able to have a reason to build a mining ship. Oh, that's wonderful. That has happened to me more than once when mining now. Falling through the world. Hey, we're building up ice again. How did you do that? At least no one's gonna think I imagined that when I did it twice in a row. But that is the solution. Turn on your jetpack, fly toward the surface, and just start drilling until it drills a hole that brings you back to the surface of the Earth. It's ridiculous, but it's the solution to a weird problem. Extra 2K ice. There. Alright, that should be able to get me to and from space now. That's not really from, I'm just trying to get to space. This one I've already been from space. it's just up, up, and away, little at a time. I really do wish there was a way to do this without burning so much fuel, but since I have no way to minimize the since we don't have an altimeter to be able to say, alright, I gotta use vertical thrust manually, and we don't have a way to turn off individual thrusters easier. Just gonna have to do it the inefficient way. Guess I could do it this way. Working the way I thought it was. Oh, come on. $70 kilometers. There's so much of this time wasn't spent, orbiting the planet. So much of my time is spent right now is spent orbiting, going to and from Velation Station. Alright, 40 kilometers. Made it far closer. And look, we have hydrogen still, so we're not going to crash and die. I need to remember to empty the Explorer this time. Tried to do it without that on. Just still too much gravity to pull it off. Might have started running out of ice finally. But we are now starting to escape the atmosphere. should see our is and yes, I'm going to the sledge first to unload my overloaded Explorer craft. I'm sure you guys heard that, which means I forgot to turn something off in my other thing. There. What happened again? Sorry about that. Alright. Now, inventory. We want to have the Explorer on this side and the sledge on that side. Find a semi-empty container on the sledge and start combining. I'm really waiting on to build a proper landing ship, star base, asteroid base, whatever you want to call it, is the larger version of the cargo container. So I want to just be able to put everything into bigger cargo container. I forget whatever the now 1.5 and a 2.5, the 5.0 or whatever it's called. Whatever the next size is. Some platinum, nickel, copper. See, it'd also be nice to be able to combine all of these across all of my different. I wish we could make it sort. For us. chromium, chemical synthesizers. I have all these components I have no idea what are used for yet, because I'm a hoarder of the first magnitude. Which is why my sledge is no longer something that I can fly into and out of the atmosphere, because my sledge is too big to even try to do that with. That's why it turned into a space station of sorts. Alright, so you are now empty unless it's ice. Alright. There's no reason to dock it up to the station. Trying to figure out which way is up and down. There we go. See, I want these 7.5 cargo containers. Sorry. If you're not old enough to know who Tim Allen is, and looky here, we have a bot. That must be banned. I apologize if that was up there for any length of time. Alright. And ta-da! Verter sector colonized. New blocks unlocked. Field-based energy tier 2. Okay, so what am I supposed to do now? We reach the edge of the what's already been told, or selected sector colonized. Location is 7 kilometers. Let me pop into the sledge before I hit that button. Find the front of the sledge. Apparently, there you can't fast travel. Oh, I guess I'm gonna fly this one first person. Flying. It's almost like you're fighting me. So let's come back here. Turn you off. That way you're just being towed. Honestly, don't know why we're wobbling so bad, but you know. Alright, we're inside of here. Can I fast travel from here now? Okay, as long as you're inside of the station. It lets you fast travel. Of course, I hit that. That is the problem with that, isn't it? Well, it doesn't look like it did. Never mind. Alright, well, we finished Verdure and it sent me to Klimek. Or Valation, it sent me to Klimek. Klimek. Science team has found an interesting asteroid presumed to be hollow. Help them build a mining ship to reach the center and assist with any other tasks. Alright. Yay! There is a renegade hideout somewhere in the asteroid field. Locate and neutralize the hideout by getting rid of their power generation. They don't have an antenna to broadcast their location, but we have information that the hideout is near an iron ore deposit. Well, let's accept both of these. Oh, they don't literally only let you take one at a time. Okay. As I walked out to the wrong side of the thing. We are going to have to find us a place nearby. This looks like a job for the explorer, I think. asteroid. Near enough to Kamek. Same time, far enough. You see asteroids. Okay. I want that one. Change. I don't want that one. Right there. Too far. Wish it would show my hydrogen thrusters work. Clear. I'm moving around just fine. I just gotta make sure I don't get more than 10 kilometers from where I'm from the Kamek. It's gonna be right at the edge. See, 10 kilometers you lose radio. Sightline though, it's horrible. But me being able to see is not as easy as being able to find this from it. I'm not seeing any ores here. So how far out do I have to go? And I did not know. Let's cover the distance quickly. Just a little bit at a time here. And turn on my thrusters. Come in here. just take the entire sledge out there with me, actually. There's no reason not to. This has just gotten so big and so unwieldy. It's hard to believe this is the starter ship. What is that? I know it sounds dumb. But voxel is voxel. It's almost no voxel. But it still gives me a perfectly solid point to build my station on so it won't move. Looks like a good spot to me to build a station on. So, first thing I need is a bunch of steel plate.
Inventory full.
There you go. And while they don't look very big relative, they are still significant pieces of asteroid. With... Actually, there's a lot here. Holy cow. Look at all that cobalt. And ice. Yes, this is going to be a good spot to start off. Alright. Let's start with... Remember how to build in this game. Gee. How are you doing, Miner? Can be play together with a friend in this game. Space Engineers 2 does not currently have multiplayer. It will be added in the not distant future, but at this exact moment it does not exist. As I was saying a few minutes ago, when talking about Space Engineers 2, it's important to remember that this is still fairly in the cycle of Space Engineers. I mean, it's not a... I hit the wrong button. There we go. While it's not considered, or why the developers released it as a full release, it's definitely still more comparable to a beta at this stage. English is my first language and I butcher it on a regular basis. I am not going to correct anybody on their English. What? Why wouldn't it build that? The original Space Engineer still is multiplayer. It definitely has multiplayer in it. Wait, will not put something there for whatever reason. Neither of those spots. If I go to a half block here. See if I can remember how to rotate stuff in this one. Let's see what happens there. Tell me I have no plate. Where's my sledge? There it is. Alright. Now we're probably going to spend the rest of the day building. So I tried to build a space station.
Inventory full.
Everyone's getting the exact same. You can't build here in the exact same spot. That is so weird. There is something about that little spot, it will not let me build. So if that's the case, coming down here does not help. Oops. And I've lost it now. Oh well. is about this little spot, but it's apparently taken. And those are not attached. Well, that would explain it. Let me try now that that's gone. Well, that turns out all those was a I had 2 grids going instead of 1. You know, as is so often the case. Just gonna go grab the Explorer and bring it over to the here, so I don't have to be so far away. Maneuver my 2 ships over here so that I have something to kind of use as a yes, this is how big of an area you're trying to build for landing pads, kind of thing. Alright, and the sledge is over here. This sledge is especially important since it's the one that has all of the materials in it. There are my 2 ships parked side by side.
Inventory full. Inventory full.
Unfortunately, you carry 3 of these big steel blocks on you at a time. So we are not going to want to build with these big steel blocks for the majority of the build. But for anchoring the build to the asteroid, seems like a good idea.
Inventory full.
So this little square is probably all of the huge blocks we're going to live by. If that one the last one, I will. I might do 2 more. Not this moment, though. Alright. So the first thing we are going to need is cargo. And so far, 2.5s are the biggest cargoes I have. Yeah, 2.5s are the biggest we have. So let's rotate them. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like 8 of those would be plenty, I think. Grab those. And a bunch of that.
Inventory full.
I'm just trying to get a place to call home at this point. We've done the nomad thing as far as we're going to go today, for today. Alright, motors, construction components, and some more. We did 6, so I would need a little bit more steel plate too. That's way more of that than I need. Way more of that than I need. I hit the wrong button. I don't see the right shapes. I'll have to just type it out, aren't I? Hope there's some.
Inventory full.
Which is not enough. Oh well. Like that, we now have functioning storage. And honestly, the best way to handle this will just be this. Slap one of those on there. One of those on here. And then we need build plan. Fierce, construction components, electric parts. In case you don't know what build planner is, was the answer to having to remember what all your stuff is. That is in Space Engineers 1, but not yet implemented in Space Engineers 2. There's a lot not implemented yet in Space Engineers 2 that's in Space Engineers 1. That is not a knock on Space Engineers 2, just a comment on the scope of Space Engineers 2's how far it has to go to reach the point that it has to get to. No, this is not the permanent docking point. I think it's going to be that. We really didn't like that aligning sideways thing, did it? Alright. What is the best way to handle this? K. Not K. Screw. And we'll make fun of the thing called this the Kermit base. Kermit Alloy base. Asteroid base and the sledge. We are going to start by putting all of the CONST. Let's just find all the construction components we can and just fill it up. Alright. Let's do the same thing with STEL. And we can do it with the pipe too over here, well, since it's here. Go. Let's do ELECT. Electronic parts. We're just consolidating. All right. Let's try ORE. stick gravity cores here. And with reactor cores. Didn't remember grinding down any reactors, but apparently I have several reactor cores. Oh, I about got them doing the, why didn't ores bring up? Oh, because this doesn't say ore, it just says what they are. Alright, fine. Iron. We are going to fill that cargo container entirely with iron. Wow. Nickel. Cobalt. Copper, silicon. Wire. No shortage of wire. Holy cow. Let's see, we do glass. That's another good one that we got a lot of, I'm sure. Alright. Let's see, grids. That seems like a good one to grab a bunch of. I only have a little bit of grids, so one of a bunch of them. The things that we have a fair number of. Have I not done motors? I thought I did motors. I did not do motors. We definitely should do motors. M-O-T-O-R. All right. What we got? Leave ice alone. We got heavy duty, and we have lead. You're heavy duty. You're lead. Gold. Motherboard. Magnet. Hard drive. Mainframe. Synthesizer. other stuff. Turbine blades, hard drive, chrome coatings, ice. I do not have a spot for ice because I'll run out of room already. So we are going to have to add more cargo, which we kind of already knew. Wait, titanium sheets, lead bar, those are two different things. Same as those are silver rods. They kind of look the same, but they're not the same. Ion chamber. Silver rod, titanium. Let's put lead down here too. Mark 1 components, which are required in case you lose your Mark 2 components. Alright. Magnet. Everything else row. And that row, that is full. Heavy duty plate. That's crazy that heavy duty plate is going to end up with its own. Seriously not happening already? That's the enriched uranium. Looks like 14 other things, but nope, that's unique. Radio comm modules, laser, electrolysers, instruction chamber. Uranium, gold, and platinum can go with the chromium. Some more gold, some more chromium, some more platinum. Alright, weirdness, 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 weirdness. Not you. Alright, those all go in that one. Alright, hard drives. Electrode. Lasers, magnesium powder, turbine blades, more uranium, chrome coatings, compressors, gold wire, thread, combustion chambers, more lasers, chemicals, radio comm modules, compressor, lead bar, motherboard, and we overfilled the deal with that. Everything you're seeing me put in this is these are battery packs for my suit, so my suit doesn't run out of energy if I don't have a ship nearby. Health packs. These are battery packs. There's gold. Actually, it says alpha state. I thought it was still in beta, but yeah. Space Engineers 2 is in the very early going. But it's still a fun game. Even if it does feel in many ways different than Space Engineers 1. More heavy duty and more ultra. Heavy duty. Your comm modules, another base and length range. Some more turbines. Batteries, health, and more ultra resistance. Ah, there is all of the alright. So hop out. B. Sorry, G in this game. Is there a welder in this one? There is a machine welder. How does this work? Work going back, alright. I wonder if I did. What does this thing take? Just steel plate, and not very much. Alright.
Inventory.
We'll find out if this will work. G. We need more of that. But we'll find out. Control panel. Welder. CONST.
Inventory full.
MOTO.
Inventory full.
I still don't know if it'll work, but try one more time. And the answer is no. Well, that stinks. It would have made this faster. What I need, though, is motors. So let's pull in extra motors. So,
Inventory full.
excuse me. I did manage to get the mute hit that time, though. At least I didn't cough and sneeze in your ear. Let's grab some more motors.
Inventory full.
And we're out of steel plate.
Inventory full.
We are like out of steel plate, which is fine because we have tons of iron. So. Aha! Kermit Base now has some storage. And we have 10 minutes left. Let's try getting some batteries going. So we can get power. What kind of batteries do I have? Big, medium, and okay. Do it there and there. Looks like we need to start with heavy duty plate and lead bars. Good thing we have some of those things, right? HEA.
Inventory full.
2 LED boards, 2 motherboards. It didn't do what I wanted it to at all. Whatever. Just grab them like that. Move that back. Whatever.
Inventory full.
Yeah, we got ourselves some batteries now.
Inventory full.
That's right, some heavy duty batteries now. Already running into it being weird. The way it does storage of this. Power cores. Just seeing how they work in your the new setup. Alright. Let's do a couple structural supports. Alright. The way the sun is shining, it's up there. So let's come off of here. That. The solar panels. Like that. That would give me some power generation. These just run steel. Those use a lot of glass, so those are different. Let's start there.
Inventory full.
Let's slowly throw up some. Alright, I'm gonna need a bunch more glass. And some electronic parts to boot.
Inventory full.
E-L-E.
Inventory full.
Alright, now let's grab some more.
Inventory full.
A little bit more glass.
Inventory full.
Excuse me. And as soon as I finish my solar array, we'll call it done for today. And next week we will pick up right here, continuing building the Kermit station. I know it's, you know, my name next week. I should say Thursday, because it'll be Thursday, not next week. But, you know.
Inventory full.
Okay. Now again, ditch that. Ditch that. Pick up that.
Inventory full.
Watch our first. Our second.
Inventory full.
Alright. Now we have power generation. We have I don't think I have actually ion thrusters yet. I don't think they gave me those yet. Oh, yes, they did. Ion thrusters. I do have ion thrusters. So we can build small ion ship. Alright, now everything is anchored to and attached to our station. So we don't have any chance of anything, loading up in Milton. And yeah, I think actually we'll zoom out like this. H. No, you. This one. There it is. As a screenshot. Start base. Alright, I will be back Thursday streaming Space Engine 2 here on Twitch. I will also be on YouTube in minutes or so, getting ready to stream, or continuing my stream of the Narset scenario in Space Engineers 1. If you'd like to, I would very much appreciate you joining me Thursday and pop over and see what the Narset scenario is in Space Engineers on YouTube too. Till next time, I am the Blind Gaming Guy, and this was Space Engineers 2.